Jobber Nation, those that are on the live feed, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Wherever you may be, we appreciate you guys so much for joining us. We did take a bit of a 2-week break just to kind of get ourselves together, life and all that stuff, but we definitely did not forget about you guys, and we're excited to be back on the air today. So why do I hear an echo on me?
My bad.
Oh, I'm like, I hear me. And that's weird. But before we get into some wrestling talk, we do have some assignments, some homework stuff to talk about. This weekend, and towards the end of the show, we will give our Backlash predictions, but we will be back at Legends for Saturday. Legends. We'll be back at Legends for Backlash. Puerto Rico is the host country for this premium live event. So we're super excited, and we'll talk about that towards the end of the show. So we'll be there at Legends. Once again, Black WrestleFest tickets are on sale now. Black WrestleFest will be June 17th, a part of celebrating Juneteenth weekend. So make sure to come out, support. We have announced a few matches for Do the Right Thing. Oh, thanks, Steven, for the 5. I appreciate you, bro.
Yo, shout out to Iz. I miss you, my nigga. Come through Saturday, my nigga. You some good
who gave us money?
Steven,
yo,
a part of the
Steven,
the Heels team. Appreciate you for the love and the support.
Oh, you heard?
Shout
out to my son, Mayor Adams, because I met him, gave him daptos.
Yo, I was upset because he came in the Cats at like 10:30,
right,
like a week ago, and I was like, damn,
upset. So, yo, you heard about this? I think May 18th, right? You're gonna celebrate Haiti in Times Square.
Oh,
IET. Yo, you know what I forgot to mention in our pre-production meeting?
Yeah,
the lawsuit. Well, thank you for Steven for mentioning it.
Oh, the writer. Oh, we'll get into that.
I forgot all about that.
Low key,
we got a pack.
Low key,
we got a pack show, niggas.
I low key got like into like personal tea. There was someone else that was supposed to be on a lawsuit, and isn't.
Who else was supposed to be on a lawsuit?
Another. We're gonna get into that. We'll talk about it. But as I mentioned, Black WrestleFest, we have announced a few matches. So we have for the Battle Club Franchise Championship, we have Calvin Takeman versus the gifted one, Yaya.
Continue on his dominant streak. Takeman who? You going against the gifted one, my nigga.
So yeah, no, we have a few other matches starting to creep down the line, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Once again, June 17th here in Brooklyn, New York, Black WrestleFest. So it'll be definitely a time to what?
Give me one more preview, one more person.
Let's see. Hold on, let me see what I can do. So as I'm looking to see what else I can maybe indulge,
because you know what's my guy.
I mean, we have people announced. We don't necessarily have all the matches announced.
They already announced Alex Kane.
Oh, okay. So, Steve and Alex.
Yeah. Okay. Alex Kane. Boombaye. Ooh!
Shout out to Alex Kane.
First time at Battle Club.
Shout out to Alex Kane, who once after he does.
Oh, shout out to my son, Sean.
After he does come to Battle Club for Juneteenth weekend, he does have a title shot on MLW the next month. For the, I think it's July 8th in Philadelphia, him versus Alex Hammerstone. So shout out to Alex Kane. Maybe, I don't know. I gotta see how life. No, because that's the same weekend of BlurCon.
We going to BlurCon, right?
Yes, so that's why I was like, oh no, that's not it. Those are on the live feed. Once again, if you have not gave Facebook permission, please write your name at the end or the beginning of your comment. We would love to know who you are. We'd love to know who's with us in the chat.
My bad, guys. No,
that's fine. We already know.
Job call.
Yeah. So we got Black WrestleFest on deck, and then once again, Jobber Slam 3, July 29th.
Can we reveal the name?
Nope. Okay. Nope. Just gonna give dates, and we're just going to keep telling y'all, stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff cooking for the summer. Also, don't be surprised if you see all of us in Detroit for SummerSlam. So we're working on some things out in Detroit. So no, we, as Sir Wilkins mentioned, we've been trying to, just give you guys not only just content, but also like just outside of Sound Real Sexual, just touch you guys and just be a part of the community and being able to create a space for all of us to just be together. So we're working on some things. But other than that, how are you guys? Like, before we get into talking about some good old wrestling and stuff that's going on, how is everyone going? How's life? What's been going on? Once again, we haven't been recording in 2 weeks, so just want to do a little catch up on how's life, what's new. And those are on live feed too. Anything you got going on, non-wrestling related, let us know. We want to celebrate. We want to, you know, just have a little personal moment real quick just to make sure everybody's good. Your mental is good. Your physical's good. Your spiritual's good.
Shout out to Stephanie Hardy. Hardy.
So yeah, Josiah, shout out to our Cali crew. As you can see, our table is full of WrestleMania 39 merch and memorabilia that Sir Wilkins forgot to give to me 2 weeks ago. So we have that. I finished
my semester and 3 classes left to graduate.
Good for congratulate and when so Josiah, when you finish, let us know. Let us know, okay?
Self-love is real on this side.
Absolutely.
Facebook user.
Facebook user number 1. All right. Sir Wilkins, what's going on with you?
I'm good, chilling. Shout out to
Michael Bostic.
Trying to make it in America.
Aren't we all? So actually, I'm glad Michael Bostic's on the tip, because we had a conversation last night, and actually there's a lot of guys on the live feed, so I want your opinion too.
My son Snugs. That's Facebook user 1.
Oh, okay. All right. So actually I have a question for you guys. So last night, y'all know my best friend Joy and her wife, they've been married. Now, next year will be 10 years. So they didn't do the big wedding 10 years ago because we were in our 20s and they just legalized same-sex marriage and blah, blah, blah. So now they're planning for the big 10-year renewal big wedding next year in Houston. So I was talking to her yesterday, and I was like, all right, listen, bridal shower is not really my thing, but bachelorette weekend, I got you, sis. I got two bachelorette weekends under my belt. I got you, sis. So we were talking about Miami. They are really big on strip clubs. Like, even when they first got married, we went to Stadium in DC after their wedding and just for happy hour and just fucking had a great time. So they only had like, her wife only wanted like strip club was a must. So I was talking to Michael about it last night, because I was like, yo, we're going to end up having to go to Miami next year for the bachelorette weekend, because it's going to be co-ed. It's going to be together. So when we were talking about it, he was talking about the strip clubs he used to go to when he lived in Atlanta. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. But before, he's already told me the story about him and a stripper. So I was just like, so when we were talking about it last night, he was like, yo, every guy has to take down one stripper in their lifetime. So my question to the gentleman in the room via StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube, and also here in the room, do you believe that every guy must take down one stripper in their lifetime?
It depends what generation you in.
Nah, it's a yes or no. It's a yes or no.
I don't think you have either a stripper or a porn star.
Okay, so now you're trying to incriminate yourself, sir. So
how's that incrimination?
It was the past.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
wait, but no, don't put porn star in it. It's stripper, just stripper.
So I've not, the thing about it, I don't go to strip clubs for the strippers. I go for the food.
Okay,
I've never been to a strip club.
Never been to a strip
really?
Club? Never.
You never been to a strip club?
No.
Wow. Yo, let me tell you, one time I went with your brother one time in fucking Queens, and we went for fucking hookah.
All right. Fun fact, everybody. What a lot of viewers don't know, I spend majority of my 20s in church. He is a wholesome man. Like, I spent from the age of 18 to basically to like 28, 27 in church.
This nigga just say, what did Sean say? I see OnlyFans girl. What the fuck? Because I can't see it.
OnlyFans girls don't count.
Correct.
Because I done that. Multiple times.
Yeah, OnlyFans is nothing. Everybody just give it away.
Okay.
Yeah, OnlyFans is nothing. Like, I have OnlyFans, cool.
I had the one that I had. yeah. Actually, I dated a girl with OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an interesting time in my life.
I used to mess with a girl.
Did you feel away because she was on OnlyFans, or you just was like, make your money, sis?
You know what was crazy about it is she got rid of it now, right?
So I said that Charles said that he had a yoga instructor.
Wow. She don't count. That's not the conversation we talking about.
So I didn't feel away because I was like, at this point, everybody's seen it already. You had it before me.
Okay, that's fair.
It depends what level it's on.
No, it wasn't super popping, but enough people Like, I remember one time, and I don't know why women do stuff like this. Like, why are you telling me this? We were in the car going back to her, but she's like, oh my God, some guy just sent me some money for my OnlyFans. And I was just like, and I'm looking at her like, what?
She wanted to be honest.
I understand it, but like, I didn't ask for it.
And guess what? And I bet you she probably spent the money on something y'all did.
No, she didn't. She never spent money on me.
Oh.
But the thing, the thing about OnlyFans girls is depends what's on the degree. Are you smashing niggas on there, or you just doing solo stuff?
If she was just doing solo stuff,
that's fine.
She just had.
Wait, who is smashing someone on OnlyFans though?
There's plenty of OnlyFans with people smashing.
Yeah.
Like on OnlyFans?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yo, listen.
Different.
Listen, it's a very lucrative business.
But we're gonna
But have I smashed a stripper? No. Porn stars multiple times.
Have I smashed an escort? Yes.
Really?
Listen,
wow, you learn something new every day.
Oh, you an escort?
Wait,
killer
hold
like
on.
Rolando? Escort killer like Rolando?
Wait, so you've smashed an escort, but haven't been to a strip club?
No.
That's interesting.
Because I feel like the strip club is wasting my money, B.
But you gotta go for the food. You gotta go for the experience.
Now I know this. Nobody. Okay.
Like the best wings, the best steak you're gonna get is gonna be a strip club.
During the time I wanted to go, I was around a lot of perverts.
Oh,
you feel me? Now I'm older. It's around like a lot of men that could look at titties like, that's some good titties, good ass wings. You feel me? I like people like that. It's called like this is how I live my life. I'm multi-dimensional at the same time.
But so to wrap that up, so then I ended up telling because when I was talking to Mikey about it, I had found out that he didn't have one the first time. He didn't do a bachelor the first time.
Vaughn said, escort, the more you know.
Right. Like, I was like, did you not see my face? I was like, whoa. So I had told Mikey, I said, if there's one person in our like inner circle of friends that I would know that would throw him a bomb ass bachelor party, it would be you. So I told him, I said, if there's one person, I said, you're gonna have to probably get Wilkins to do it for you because he would do it. He would do it right. So.
Oh no, I have.
And also make sure my nigga don't do nothing stupid as fuck.
I am flying in whores. I am flying in whores.
Just listen. It better be like the best man without him reading what the fuck happened in the book. Like, it better be like, that shit better be for y'all.
Whores and coke.
I don't do coke.
No, it gotta be weed. Like, it can't. Coke is
niggas gotta sniff coke.
That is unacceptable. We're not gonna. Y'all
coke.
Niggas ain't gonna have a cocaine bear type of situation. It's not happening. Not with my niggas. So
coke,
y'all got to figure that out.
Hennessy. I'm not doing none of it, but it's gonna be on supply.
Oh my gosh.
This is actually why he's a perfect person to plan. Keith, happy belated May 1st. He started off the month. Happy birthday, Keith. And once again, thank you for all you've done for Black WrestleFest and continue to do so. We appreciate you and we love you.
But
this nigga said whores. I'm flying in whores.
But yes, it is a good time though.
Yes. So okay. So actually,
sex is good.
So
I mean, they do it for a living, duh.
No. Never mind.
Right.
It's like saying that, you know what?
I'm glad you stopped yourself.
Not all basketball players are great. Okay, you're right. Yeah.
So the moral of the story is we gonna have to do an adventure, Jobbertears adventure, and take Mrblacc to his first strip club. Maybe we could go when we go for BlurCon. We go to Stadium. Because I don't really do
BlurCon. What stadium?
Stadium is a strip club in DC.
They have good food?
Yeah. They had this power hour thing. It was the most I'm telling you, the most obnoxious thing. So it was the weekend they got married. We went for happy hour, and it was like the type of thing where drinks started at like $1.50, and it would go up 50 cents every half hour. Like, it was the most like when we got into the club, drinks were $2.
They still do that?
I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I haven't been to Stadium in a long time.
COVID.
Yeah, COVID. I mean, listen, they was having.
But I don't like strip clubs though.
I heard in Houston they was having like drive-through strip clubs.
Because I feel like I always fall in love with one.
I mean, that's the kind of the magic of it, though. No.
Did I ever tell you the story? I was helping the strippers count money.
Oh, that was nice of you. Like there in person, like on the floor.
Yeah, we were counting money together.
Oh, you like to bond.
Yeah.
You bond in the weirdest ways. Like,
no, but it's true though. Listen,
no, I'm just a simp. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Our childhood is very fucked up.
Listen, I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just a simp with a bad attitude.
You don't really have a bad attitude though.
I just get tired of chicks.
Well, All right, we're not
You know what?
Once again, moral of the story is we're gonna take MrBlacc to the strip club before the end of the year. How about that? Because that shit is wild. Like, I'm saying here, like, oh shit, you never been? But yeah, I never forget the time we went, and it was in Queens, and we went to go smoke hookah at the strip club. That was obnoxious, but it was so funny. But wait, you can read it. What people saying? Because I can't see.
Okay, it says someone saying that 2.5 bros. Someone said that I can take away this. You better than this, sweetheart. I can take away for you better than this, sweetheart. Drake line from Trell. Kofi said, I fall asleep in strip clubs.
What?
He said, I went with a person that will throw money back and pick it back up. Throw it again.
Yo, but that's like the best part of it though, low key. Is like when they throw, because they obnoxiously throw the money and it be all over the place. Like even when we went, so shout outs to Valid. That was our last episode. Him and Stretch Money. Make sure to go listen to their album that's out right now. When I went to Detroit and Valid took me to the strip club, niggas was obnoxiously throwing singles all over the place where it would start to sprinkle onto the bar where we was sitting. So like we would just pick up the money that would fall like over us and throw it back at them. Like, here, that's not for us. But just telling you, it's an experience. And
Boston said, y'all niggas in the chat are corny.
that's because he be talking about pen-ups and all type of shit in Atlanta. Michael.
Yo, Vaughn said that Wilkins is the Franklin of Jobbertears. Shout out to Randy, my Haitian brother.
Oh, shout out to Randy in the building. But all right, let's talk some wrestling then, guys. Since we got everybody in the chat, we got a good number of people in the chat, so we want to talk about it. Before we get into controversial stuff, let's talk about positivity. The WWE draft has concluded. So after WrestleMania, Trips came out and said we're gonna shake things up a bit.
I mean, a new world title.
And okay, we're gonna get, listen, slow burn. We're gonna get there. So Triple H had announced that they're gonna do a draft. The draft, once again, that has concluded. It will go into effect starting this coming Monday after Backlash. And on top of announcing the draft, they also debuted a new belt. So Roman was the #1 draft pick for SmackDown. He will still be remaining the undisputed WWE champion, Universal champion on SmackDown. So he still is on the road to 1,000 days. But Raw will be crowned, will have their own champion be crowned at Night of Champions, which is going to be in Saudi in about a few weeks. So let me just pull up the draft, and I'm gonna say some names, and I just out of the few names, I'm gonna say to you guys which ones you guys feel like was the most impactful changes. But they obviously swapped all the champions. So Bianca now is on SmackDown, Rhea now is on Raw, Gunther and Imperium is now on Raw, Austin Theory is on SmackDown. Both tag team champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Raquel and Liv are all on Raw. And I'm trying to think of any other champions. But on Raw, we have, I'm just going to throw out some names that I felt like were really like good pickups that were not on Raw already. Cody Rhodes was the #1 pick on Raw, so just keep that in mind. And once again, Imperium was picked up. Drew McIntyre is now back on Raw. Shinsuke Nakamura is back on Raw. Viking Raiders are on Raw. We have Apollo Crews is coming back to Raw from NXT. We have trying to see who else is on SmackDown. The New Day is now on Raw. The Ronda and Shayna Baszler is on Raw. Braun Strowman and Rico Booty is on Raw. And then they got some really good pickups for on the NXT side. So Indy Hartwell, which was the current NXT Women's Champion, now is on Raw. Zoe Stark, which I'm super excited about is on Raw. Odyssey Jones, who just came back from an injury on NXT, is now on Raw. Jinder, Veer, and the other one is now on Raw. I can't remember his name.
Right there. Jinder Mahal. That's a good park spread.
Right. We also have the former NXT Tag Team Champions of Chance and Carter is now on Raw. The Xia Li girl, she's now on Raw because she was on SmackDown. And JD McDonough is now Monday Night Raw. So out of those little bunches, which one do you feel like is gonna make the most impact on Raw?
Walker is on SmackDown.
I didn't get to SmackDown yet. There's a process. So who on Raw did you guys feel like was a good pickup for them?
Jones.
Oh, talk about it.
Yeah, because I feel like I said this a couple weeks ago. I keep saying this. Wrestling is lacking big man. You understand?
Okay.
Because a lot of big men want to be the Kevin Owens. You understand? They just want to they don't want to be to the basics no more. And I feel like, yo, you can do all that high flying shit, but like you as a big man, you don't have to do that. You feel me? So I need one of those classic big men.
Yeah, but talking about big men, so they already have, they have Otis still on Raw. Alpha Academy still on Raw. They had drafted whatchamacallit, Bronson Reed is still on Raw, so that's a big man that's on there too.
Bobby Lashley on SmackDown, right?
Huh?
Bobby Lashley on SmackDown, right?
Yeah. So talking about Smack, what did you think Raw's biggest pickup was?
First of all, Raw got like a C+ for me. Draft.
Why?
For me. They have potential. Like as you say the names, you're going. Like there's no megastars on here besides Seth.
Well, they got Seth.
But it's
Seth, Cody.
It's Seth and Cody, right?
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn's on there.
But Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's are your utility players. They come in, they move up and down the roster. They're perfect. And then you have Miz, another superstar utility player, but not the guy. The only guys on there is Seth Rollins and Cody. Now, I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at this because now it gives opportunities for the next guys to step up.
Right.
Yeah.
But off of face value of this, it's decent. It ain't going to win you a championship, but you got building blocks for the future.
So when I looked at the overall on the Raw side, and we'll get to SmackDown right after this. When I looked at the overall Raw scheme of things, it gave me actually it gave me Attitude Era vibes, and I say that because Raw now, remember back in the day, you used to have mad stables and mad tag teams wrestle throughout the show, but it kept the show moving, it kept the show interesting, it kept the show fresh. So to see a lot of tag teams, a lot of trios being drafted to Raw, it will help, I think, make 3 hours a little bit more easier to consume, because you'll have the different cliques and stuff like that going back and forth. Because remember back in the day when even with the Nation and the Los Boricuas and DOA, you had those segments where you had those groups and stuff come in to play and do different things, and I just think there's a lot of more players involved to keep things in a decent pace versus it feeling exhausting by 10 o'clock.
The thing is, it's never the players I worry about in WWE. It's always the people who's using the players.
The creative?
Yeah, because when Tripp was there, I had faith for yes, Damage Control wasn't best booked, but it was booked. You understand?
Yeah.
And you saw other women. So you saw Piper Niven and Nikki Cross bickering back and talking, and after that, you saw a storyline behind that. I feel Triple H was good with the storyline, using his players very well. This is why my brother said he's a great GM. Now, with Vince having final say in creative, it's literally
debatable.
You can watch Raw one week, you go that's a fire-ass Raw, and next week looking boy, I came home for this shit.
Well, so I want to piggyback off my comment about Triple H and Vince. Vince knows how to build super teams.
Mm-hmm.
Elaborate.
Super teams meaning Miami with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh.
Mm-hmm.
While Trips I don't think he has the eye, 100% the eye yet for a superstar. But he'll find that player that can do anything. He'll build a Nuggets. The Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets of today, you got Jokic, who's not really Jokic, for instance, people who watch basketball, he's the center for the Nuggets. Center power forward for the Nuggets. Two-time MVP. If you see him, he'd be he does some regular guy off the bench. But dude balls out. But hold on, borderline a triple-double. So it's what Triple H knows how to put the pieces in place for the bigger puzzle.
Right.
So a lot of times Vince was, my main event is going to be amazing. You are going to watch my main event. I don't care what nothing else is going on.
Yeah, anything else doesn't matter.
My main event is going to be fire. But I kind of been, you know, trained on that. Like, that's what I'm used to. Mm-hmm. So when I looked at the Raw roster, I was like, there are people I like you said Omos, you said Jinder, you said like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, but there's no mega superstars. Probably done for a reason, which what you said, which is it's 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but, and this is what I tell everybody. Listen, I know some of y'all be listening to this show. Raw roster, hear me out. Y'all have an opportunity right now to ball the F out. Mm-hmm. Because literally, only real superstars on there is Cody and Seth and potentially Shinsuke. That's why I'm happy Shinsuke is on Raw. Yeah.
And like, so that's why I appreciate the draft in a sense, and we're gonna get to the side on SmackDown's end, but I appreciate the fresh, listen, all the NXT call-ups I popped for, because I'm an avid NXT fan, and to see, and I know a lot of people were like, well, what happened to Braun and what happened to Melo and all this stuff, and it's just like, if you take the what's the foundation of what NXT is right now away, then what they got left. So it's not, and also too, Braun and Melo doesn't need a draft to be called up or to be doing something on the main roster yet. So it's not, and they have their match coming up at Battleground at the end of this month. So I think it's just okay. Like, it's not a big deal. But the ones that were called up, I think were definitely great. On the Smack.
Wait. I'll add on what he said.
Okay.
I think that, to add on what you said, I think the difference between Vince and I throw in a Paul Heyman is Triple H and Paul Heyman know how to hide your weaknesses very, very, very well, because it enhances what you're good at. Vince is on some like, yo, that's too much of a weakness. I cannot use you. I need somebody that could be a heel, could be a face, because I'll make you a lot of money if you trust in me. But you got the same work ethic. And I feel why Sean is so important to this, because you don't notice a lot of people coming up to the main roster. They're very well-rounded. They're more well-rounded compared to the ones in the past. Because look at Tyler Breeze. He's good and all, but he's missing something. You understand? He's a good utility player, but he's not the one that will get you over the top. That's why I think that's the difference between being Vince McMahon and being Triple H. I agree with you. Is for you to get to Vince's level is you got to go through a lot of people to understand, what's been consistently been working for me that made me the most money. Triple H hasn't been in that role for too long to determine that.
But I also think what the difference between Triple H and Vince is, Triple H is kind of what you said, but Triple H understands wrestling.
Triple H understands long term,
but he does. I don't think he's fully aware, and he's getting better at it. Logan Paul, for instance, understanding of getting casual fans in. 100%,
because it has to be a balance,
and he's getting there, because obviously him and I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We'll figure it out later. We'll find out maybe when a book comes out about Vince. Yeah. But we saw that for WrestleMania. WrestleMania was amazing. Mm-hmm. Packed house,
the highest gated WrestleMania in WrestleMania history,
and we saw that live. You saw that on TV. So obviously, he's understanding how to get that casual fan in. But Vince also always knew how to get casual, especially during the Attitude Era. Yeah. Now he's a little outdated now, as you can see. But I just think, like, just to like finalize my part on that one, like, Raw has potential, but you literally got to see how this goes.
But it also is, just to add my boy, it's like, it's in good hands, because NXT, how they redid it, having Sean there, people are more prepared to be on the mic. They're more prepared showman-wise, because the system, people may shit on NXT 2.0, but
that shit was lit.
It was lit because you're not getting no like Carmelo Hayes. You're not getting
you wouldn't get anybody.
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 I'm not gonna lie, Black and Gold was cool though, but the characters suck. I'm sorry.
Well, so you know what it is? I think with the black and gold era of NXT, it definitely focused it more on the technical wrestling. I think and that was the kind of hard part, because as wrestling fans, no one likes change. So when black and gold kind of like ended and then NXT 2.0 started, people were in the uproar, like, what happened to the wrestling? What happened to this? Like, there are no superstars. But if you really watch it week for week, they leave it episodic. They leave it character building. You're invested. Even like this week on NXT, first of all, them turning Braun Breaker heel was probably the best thing they could have did, because he's definitely channeling his inner uncle all the way. But so I go back to, remember when you interviewed Mello, Mania weekend, and off camera, we were just chopping it up, talking, catching up, blah, blah, blah. And I asked him a question. I said, yo, I have a random question. Whose idea was it for you and Trick? Because, like, I think it's the craziest thing, but it works. And you know who he said idea was? Road Dogg.
See?
And it goes to show you, and I think Road Dogg saw a lot of himself in Trick, in the way that he talks on the mic, the way that he handles, the way that he manages. But also, to a lot of people don't know, Trick can be in the ring too. So for him to have a match next week with Braun, and then the segment they had with him and Apollo Crews, and Apollo like bigging him up and talking about him, it was the same way Apollo Crews talked about Trick was the same way Mello talked about Trick, and was like, you know, he's super talented. He has a lot going for himself. Like, I eventually want to step away from him and have him do his own thing and be his own person, because he can do it. And it's amazing when you see the evolution. And I think that's the beauty in the draft this year, and just in wrestling in general. We're in this different era. We're in this era where now we're literally rebuilding and starting fresh and adding fresh faces and adding fresh characters and things like that. And I think that's what keeps wrestling interesting. Like, Trick, if it's the same old shit, Trick, we're going to complain.
Trick, that promo that he had was great.
My man said, I'm the gift for gab. I was like, this nigga just talking
if Trips
naked.
wasn't black and gold, Trips wasn't in black and gold, his promo wouldn't be as fire. I'm sorry, because this new NXT really work on your really work on your
you gotta be in the camera, on screen, whether it's backstage, in the front, in the parking lot, wherever it is. They'll definitely
dangerous parking lot in the world.
Yo, and it's so funny, because when we went to 2.0 and we saw it, we were just like, yo, is this where they all do the same shit? It was so funny. It's literally just like a strip of a parking lot. It is the funniest thing. But on the SmackDown side of things, they drafted, and this is interesting. When the first night of the draft, they drafted Roman, Paul, and Solo only. And that, once again, even doing that, it adds that little oomph to their storyline, because it was like, well, why wasn't the whole bloodline drafted number one? What happened with that? So like that, I like the illusion of that. SmackDown also took the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. Street Profits, Edge is now on SmackDown fully. Bobby Lashley's on SmackDown, which I love. AJ Styles returning with the OC. Damage Control's on SmackDown now. Elba Fire and Elsa Dawn, the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, are now on SmackDown. Hit Row still there. Austin Theory, once again, I mentioned. The LWO. Asuka's on SmackDown. LA Knight's on SmackDown. Shotzi's on SmackDown. Pretty Deadly's on SmackDown. Super excited for them. Cameron Grimes. Yo, I fucking woke Michael up when they announced his name. I screamed, because I love Cameron Grimes. I'm super glad that he's on the main roster. It's been some time since he's been on NXT, but I think he was, they had to wait kind of like until after WrestleMania finished. And then also too, which I think is probably the best pick, up and coming pick that SmackDown got, was Grayson Waller is now on SmackDown, and I think is gonna be the dopest thing. Also, they did this with, I felt like, the first time. They have free agents, so there's a group of guys that don't have a specific home and can show up on any brand. So that's Brock Lesnar, of course, Omos, Mustafa Ali, which I was surprised. I was like, okay, cool for him. Dolph, Von Wagner, second generation, get to know him. Corbin, Shelton, and Cedric, which I was surprised. So I was like, okay, cool. Elias and Zion Quinn from NXT, which I'm super glad for him too. So it's really interesting. And once again, it's a fresh era. It's something new. You get new matches. You see how someone just put Kramer Grimes versus LA Knight, run it back. Brock and Omos, they can always run that back. Von Wagner is a free agent. So once again, they can be on any brand and then get picked up by that brand that they choose. But I think the draft, I think it's interesting. I definitely think it did shake things up a bit. It's interesting. It's going to be
the OC.
Yeah, they're on SmackDown. AJ Styles came back from the injury that he had. But once again, so then my question now, and then we'll move on to the next topic, is as Raw has this new belt, which once again, I'm not big on belts.
Wait. I was going to say on SmackDown, I feel like SmackDown is shifting to more of an era of talkers. Because how you going to keep butts in seats for 2 hours? And they noticed that I realized when they had a lot of more of the bloodline, stuff like that, had those more talking segments, very entertaining, and kept people from 8 to 10. So now you have all these talkers, they say, yo, we put you on SmackDown. How you going to hold this attention for all these audience for this long? So now SmackDown's going to be a home of good wrestling and talkers.
Yeah, so...
But I think it's... I don't think it's that.
Boy...
I think their contract is about to be up.
Who? Oh, with Fox.
So I think they need to be more entertaining.
We saying the same thing.
No, and I don't. I think it is. Yeah, it is that. To be honest, I think it's because I honestly think this is why they have more superstars and Romans on SmackDown is because they want another $1 billion deal.
Yeah, and they're gonna try to position themselves in order to get it. But I think
when you do like to negotiate a contract, they're gonna look at everything. It says why did your audience drop at this time and it goes up this time? It's not consistent across the board because if it drop at this time, we can't put an advertisement. It gotta be a steady pace where you gotta advertise no matter what. It will be the maximum money.
Well, that's where the picture-in-picture thing I think comes into play. But
if it's dips, like for example, if you have 1 million, then at this hour it dips. You don't put advertisers there because you won't get the maximum money from them.
You just have to see which demographic dips to know which advertising you're gonna place in that placement.
True, but but the whole Raw retention dips at that time. They're not gonna put advertisers there. I'm talking about the overall retention, not just the certain demographics. Okay. If the overall audience goes down that time, you don't put advertisers there.
All right, but I think with SmackDown though, and I'm excited because once again, SmackDown, we get SmackDown the week after Money in the Bank at the Garden, so it's gonna be super dope to see all those different people that we normally wouldn't see here in New York, so that's gonna be exciting and fun. But no, I think SmackDown. I think SmackDown. It's hard to compare because Raw is the longer TV show, so they would have the heavier roster. So I can't really. It's hard to compare to see who came out more on top. But I think between the NXT call ups and the swapping of all the titles going to the opposite brands, it gives a fresh face to everything. So now, and then also they swapped announcers. So the female announcer on SmackDown will now be on Raw because Regal Booty's on Raw, and then Mike Rome is now going to be on SmackDown.
Is that the one that be getting like asking these dumb questions sometimes? Not really dumb questions, but like it's like, ooh, get me tight questions.
Who?
It's one announcers that be saying like slick stuff. No, she's on Talking Smack.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I know you're talking about. Cause I had watched that for the first time. Or Raw Talk. I had watched the other day because they was doing draft picks on them shows. But overall, it's gonna be very interesting. Once again, the draft picks go into effect starting this coming Monday, right after Backlash. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting summer, I think, leading to SummerSlam. I think once again them going and doing Money in the Bank in the UK. And speaking of the UK, that is a segue into these pre-sales for AEW's All In is at, I believe they said around that 36,000 mark, and that's just in pre-sales. And they're shooting for 90,000 from what I'm hearing. What are your thoughts on All In being in the UK? Because I don't think we've really talked about that. And then what are your thoughts on what would be the best way for them to maximize them getting the most people in that stadium? Like, what match do they have to do in order to get the amount of people that they want?
So, first things first, I don't care what side of the fence you are on, or if you're in the middle. This is good for wrestling. Mm-hmm. This is a show in the UK. one of the number 2 American brand over there in the UK, and they're at 30,000.
They're at 43 now.
43. Will they hit 90? I don't think they'll hit 90. I think they'll do 70K or to 80K, and that's good enough.
Really, to be honest, and it's not for nothing, 40,000 is not bad.
No, it's not. It's not bad at all. And the thing about, I don't care if it's 70. The fact that they got those as pre-sale, that says a lot. Like, one thing about AEW's hardcore fans, they show out.
And I think a big part of it too, and I was thinking about it on the way here, is that, you know, once again, it's in the UK and they don't get a lot of like live big events like that. So off rip, you're going to get all of the people that are there in the UK. My only real big concern was, and I had mentioned it to you guys, and I think when I spoke to a few people about it that had asked me, I personally would have preferred Forbidden Door to be the pay-per-view to do the stadium. I think it would have definitely drew, I think, a more of a global kind of connotation to it versus it just being an all-in. Also, to their demographic and their audience here, I don't know if everybody, like, I don't know if a good percentage of them would be able to even get to the UK.
But the thing about it,
you know what I mean?
Statistically speaking, they said that AEW fans make more money than WWE fans.
But
really?
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't believe that.
You said how that they should have Forbidden Door over there, right?
Yes.
But is New Japan is in that region? Are they broadcast like that? Because if they're not, it makes no sense.
No, but the thing, it's not even that, because you'll have, you know, Japanese star. You know, I think it's the UK in like just looking at on a map is kind of the center. So you have and that's the whole point of Forbidden Door, is to kind of like get those relationships, build those gaps, get people that haven't been in front of people like that before. Like, to be honest, when Ring of Honor and New Japan did Supercard at the Garden, that low key was Forbidden Door.
Do you want to split the revenue? But the first time you being over there with someone else?
But the thing about it, they don't need to do that.
They don't.
Because the thing about AEW is that their doors is already open. They don't have a closed door policy like WWE. Like, you don't have to be signed to WWE to be on AEW. You don't have to be signed to AEW to be on the AEW show.
Good point.
Like, he can literally hit up a couple of great UK guys, tell them to come through, pay them a day fee, and they're good.
Correct.
So that's my thing. I see where you're coming from, but you don't need that with AEW, because AEW already has an open door policy. They, like, for instance, they be like all those challenges that these wrestlers be going through and they have to defeat multiple people. It be the most random people from off the streets. And no disrespect to them, they're star players on the indies, but it be some randoms.
Or sometimes when they have these, like, when they in certain people's town, or like this warlord, it'd be like one of the indie star heroes.
Yeah, and that's done consistently. And then AEW's crowd knows that about it. And they know enough independent wrestlers, even on the UK scene, to come over there.
Yeah, the UK, that's what I'm saying. The UK indie scene is a different level.
Forbidden Door UK or something like that.
No, no, not just Forbidden Door UK. No. If it was me, I would have did Forbidden Door in the UK, because I think it would have, in terms of fans coming, I think in terms of, because you don't really need storylines for that. I mean, they don't really do storylines like that anyway, but you don't really need to do a lot to be, it's like doing Jobber Slam at a stadium.
But my brother's right though, because you easily get a Zack Sabre Jr. to come, and that can represent New Japan. Like
Simon can wrestle on that card.
No, yeah, which is fine.
He's gonna pull somebody, and I get what you're saying for like
I agree.
It's a big pay-per-view in a big stadium. Yeah,
because that's the thing. Everybody's in the uproar about how are they selling all these tickets without a card being. So it's the pageantry. It's the I want to be a part of history.
Wait.
It's a part
of. Somebody really asked that dumb shit.
People have been saying it online. Yeah,
because
of course that's gonna be the ammo for like those that are only WWE fans. Like, it's always like a battle, and it's just listen, like it doesn't matter.
It's like they don't know.
That's what I'm saying. People listen, and that's exactly why I thought that, because I was like, that doesn't make any sense, because people will buy WrestleMania tickets without even knowing what the card is, and it's because it's that notion of a big stadium feel and being a part of something. But the experience, they're paying for the experience.
But the thing about it, and this is the beauty of why I like multiple companies in the US that are doing well.
Manifesting jobs.
The main reason why he's doing it in England is because WWE has been killing it lately. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I'm gonna up it. And then, like you said, people want to be part of history.
Yeah.
If this company lasts another 10 to 20 years, imagine you were the first person, you were at the first international AEW live event.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought about it. I said, you know what? Let's kill two birds with one stone. Let's go to the UK for the first time. Also, two carnivals that same weekend. I said, shit, let's go.
Shout out to my guy, Black Wrestle Alliance.
My nigga, that flight was $700. I said, absolutely not. And that was another reason why I said, I don't know if their demographic from the States are going to be able to go, because niggas is used to paying $20 for a ticket. Now you got to pay $700 for a flight?
I'm telling you. You have to, but you have to also understand, most of the fans for AEW are millennials, so they got legit paying jobs, and most millennials ain't got kids. We ain't got kids.
Yeah, I was about to say, most of the people that go to AEW is outside of the mama that bought the son, but don't be kids.
And you forget that AEW fans are all over the world. You don't think that there's not nobody reselling,
and the reason why,
and that was another thing I thought about, was like all these pre-sale tickets. What percentage of that are actual fans that will actually take the ticket they just bought and go to the show? Because that's also a thing even here in the States that people get upset about, and they complain about how when tickets go on sale, whether it's a pre-sale or the actual when it goes on sale in general, is that a lot of these people that get the tickets are people that resell the tickets.
But that's with everything.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. So like realistically, the people that are making like, oh my God, they got 40,000. They're going against the naysayers. It's like, but how much of a percentage of that 40,000 are the actual fans that will actually attend that event?
But at the same time, they sold 40,000.
Yeah, like it's not to deny that or take it away from it.
I don't listen. Y'all know I love sneakers. If the sneaker was pre-sold by bots and resellers, that means the sneaker sold out. Nike still got their bread. AEW still got their bread for it. Yeah. Regardless of how they sold these tickets.
The money is money, no matter how they got it.
They got the money in the bank account.
But to wrap that up, I believe the official tickets on sale for All In will be, I believe, tomorrow. Those that are watching on the live. But you can go on to AEW's social media and website to figure out more information on that. But it's exciting. It's good for wrestling. Like at the end of the day, whether you like AEW, whether you agree, disagree, whatever the case might be, whether you're a diehard WWE fan, like everyone, you should be able to admit like this is good for wrestling.
They're doing okay. They got a third show on Saturday.
And let's talk about which I don't. That's a woo. They already struggle with a Friday, Saturday.
How you guys feel of them getting rid of Elevation and Dark?
Oh, ain't nobody. Did you watch it?
Did you watch it?
Did you watch? Ask you guys.
No, but I'm asking you that. No. I'm asking you.
It's a legit question.
The legit question.
Look,
are you going to miss it?
Hold on.
I had no clue until Michael said it last night, and I was like, what?
So let's keep it a buck.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking to all y'all who listening to me right now. And I love everybody that listens. Shout out to y'all for listening. AEW, WWE, I don't care who y'all are. Just like main events, y'all were not watching AEW Dark and Elevation.
Not at all.
And the people that were watching it was because their mans was on there or their man was on there.
Anytime I checked into a Dark, it was because of somebody I knew that was on that bitch, and I wanted to watch them.
80% of people who say they watch Dark and Elevation are not watching Dark and Elevation.
Absolutely.
Just like nobody's watching WWE main event.
On Hulu.
I was about to say, I thought it was on the...
Y'all ain't watching it. And people in the comments be like, oh, no, I do watch it. No, you don't. No, you don't. Now, they are like a good hardcore fans.
Yes.
Who do watch it. I'm going to give them like 10K. 10K probably watch it.
I won't want... What did Vaughn say? I can't see. I know I can't see. I wish TV was closer.
That's all I'm saying.
But at the end of the day, it's not gonna be missed.
It's not gonna be missed at all.
No one. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have known unless Michael said it last night. I was like, what? And then I had to look it up, and it was more. So because I was like, but why? That doesn't make any sense. And then when I read that Warner wants exclusivity of AEW, and that's why they had to stop doing the YouTube thing, I said, oh, okay.
But the thing about it, that makes AEW looks great. Because I was listening, so
they deleted it.
What?
There's no.
All the episodes are gone.
All right,
they're gone.
Hold on. Let me look at it. It was not averaging like
my nigga. You wasn't watching it, so you don't even got
like 100K.
But at the end of the day, you wasn't watching it.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You wasn't watching it, so that's what we're talking about.
So honestly,
no. I'm agreeing with you. Like 100K was only watching it, or 200K.
No, but the thing about it was the people who go back. So let's be honest. That is smart. What they did on a business standpoint, what AEW did putting on Dark and Elevation on YouTube was smart because that's added revenue.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
It's added revenue weekly to have it on there. That was a smart idea on that part. So if I'm getting 100 to 200K, which is probably $500,000.
Plus advertisement
that I'm doing, whatever. I get people to get reps on the show. Boom. That's not a bad business plan.
But
watching it live, ain't nobody watching that shit live.
Absolutely not.
Does he have free tickets?
But that's what. No, so basically,
I'm talking about live on YouTube.
They were doing the tapings and stuff either before the shows or after the shows, so it wasn't like it was a separate thing. Like
a live YouTube, live show.
Like you were getting, you were. If you were going to AEW show, you was there for at least 5 hours, at minimum. But what I didn't like was that the whole to understand certain storylines or certain things that were going on Dynamite, I had to watch Dark and Evil. It was like, what the fuck? Why? What are we doing? So now that has RIP Dark and Evolution. Friday once again will still be Rampage.
It's just I have to say that people make shit on it though, son. But that's how a lot of people got extra money during the pandemic.
It's not mad at it.
So overall, it's just I just want to say this is positive before we get out. Because of Dark and Elevation, people actually got something to do during the pandemic. People got paid. Even the people who were signed there felt like, I could develop my craft on here.
So I want to go off of that. This is how I legit feel about Tony Khan. Dude got his issues. There's a lot of things Tony Khan does that I don't like. But the one thing about he's a good guy genuinely. Especially if he likes you. There's some stuff he's done, the Big Swole situation, other situations he's done where I'm not 100% a fan of. And like you said, he fed a lot of people during the pandemic, put people on Dark and Elevation during the pandemic, put money in people's pockets. But him being nice has messed him up.
Him being nice has made him look wild pussy in front of everybody.
Especially
not gonna hold you with the CM Punk shit.
Because
not gonna hold
you. We're talking about the show.
That nigga,
because the thing is with this whole show situation, what the rumors are saying, they're gonna split the roster.
Correct. So now they're gonna do their own different brand thing, and the Saturday night show, which would be what's it called? Fuck, I forgot the name of it. What they said it was gonna call it. Shit. Collision?
Collision.
Okay.
Collision,
which is random as fuck. So the rumor is that the debut of AEW's Collision will be sometime in June in Chicago at the United Center. Oh, thank you, Christian Bailey. Appreciate you, love. Will be in Chicago, and it will be the re-emergence of CM Punk, apparently. So it's interesting. It's now it's a question of, do you just leave Punk on a Saturday night show and do a show around him and keep the Elite and everybody on Wednesday? Or it's weird to have 3 different shows, split them up 3 different times.
Thank you, Christian, for the bread.
And then expect everybody to still Fridays are already rough for Rampage. This Saturday show, I don't know the timing of it yet, and I don't know if it's gonna hit.
Shout out to Stephen Garland, because the show did more than Georgia Dome. The show in Wimbledon, the show in England, the numbers that it's at is bigger than. Georgia.
So it's hard to compare because that stadium in Wimbledon that was a rebuilt stadium.
Still pretty good though.
It's not the same stadium where SummerSlam was with the Bulldog Bret Hart match.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It does. It's still.
But no, in terms of seats, so that's why it's hard to compare because you have the Georgia Dome, but then that new stadium, of course, is gonna have more. They built it with more seats. Yeah. So it's gonna have a higher number still than most of those arenas.
43K. That's great. But to go back to the show, the thing is, I don't understand why these grown men cannot work together.
It's ego.
No, but I don't care. I do not care. You hold on. You are a grown man. You are grown men. All of y'all either got kids, y'all all married, y'all all over the age of 34, 35, bro. And the thing about it, y'all stars. You come together. I don't like you. You don't like me, but we got to make this bread. There are people on my team who I don't agree with a lot of times.
I think that's any job.
But the thing about it, I understand the bigger picture.
The common goal.
The common goal. Because at the end of the day, if my team ain't eating,
then I'm not eating.
I'm not eating.
But I think when you release that CM Punk is one of the highest paid talent on your roster.
But I'm gonna compare it to
it makes it comical.
No. And you see, I have to agree with my brother. Y'all may look at Vince mad funny. Vince has his ways, but Ultimate Warrior stood him up. Like did something for him. Did something like y'all want my money, whatever, right? Yo, you're gonna do my show, and he fired him right after.
Yeah, he fired right after. I think he won the title and then fired him.
But the thing about it, I want to go at that comment you said. CM Punk is the highest paid person there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He pulls a gate. He pulls a gate.
Right, but then
no. One of my guys that works on my team, low key, he makes more money than me. But I know what he does. I actually argued for his pay. If I have somebody on my team, I don't care if I don't like you. I don't care if you don't like me. I need to get my bread. I need to be a star. I need to make money.
So you know what? Then it goes off. It's interesting because then, him and Mox make the same. So that whole thing of Moxley, the whole, when he talked about it on Renee's show about how he really didn't agree, but he was down to still do it.
That's why I fuck with Moxley.
So it was Moxley's a team. At the end of the day, you can never take away that John Moxley / Dean Ambrose has always been a team player.
But that's professionalism.
But then when you're in the environment where the head doesn't promote that type of environment, or he allows everyone to just do whatever the fuck they want to do, it makes it hard to do the team effort.
But the thing about, I'm not even putting that on Tony.
Nah, I'm putting that on him.
You know why I'm not? You know why I'm not putting that on Tony? You know why I'm not putting that on Tony? Because at the end of the day, CM Punk has been in the business longer than Tony. You have been in the wrestling business longer than Tony Khan. You are supposed to come in there and be the veteran. Listen, people have disagreements. Listen, people have blow-ups. Listen, things get out of hand. But at the end of the day, we are here to entertain. We are here to make money. And I don't understand why he can't get that through his head. But because the thing about it, you cannot attract bees with vinegar, you attract them with honey. So you get into the situation, you pull up like, yo, my bad, let's make this bread. But that's how it should be.
But I think because it doesn't help. You know how they say, time heals. I think in this scenario, and I think actually in scenario in wrestling in general, because so much time has passed, I don't know if it will be that.
But you put a bad precedent on your company.
But I think, and that's why I said I put a lot of that on Tony, because as the head, as the person in charge, if you don't give direction, if you don't create that environment for them to squash that shit, because in all honesty, that shit should have been squashed before 2023.
Exactly.
Period. So the fact that we're coming into it, we're halfway through the year, CM Punk still has not wrestled. he's still been getting paid. And that nigga has popped up at an Impact show backstage. He trolleyed into WWE backstage. And it's like, you allow what you allow. And as the owner, as someone that you're supposed to be the leader, people look at you for guidance. They look at you for direction. If you're not the one putting your foot down and saying, like, this is how this is going to go, and if it's not going to go this way, then this is what's going to happen. There's no consequences to anyone's action there. Anyone. None of them. They stripped the elite off the belts. Them niggas was back in less than like a month. There's no type of real consequence for what any of them niggas did. And that falls on the owner of the company.
I get
period.
That. I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna tell a story, right? SmackDown, right? Who's saying that? The Rock, right?
You said what?
Who's saying is that? The Rock, right?
Yeah.
That's one of his
later SmackDown,
right?
yeah.
And The Rock made Vince McMahon money. DX got their own pay-per-view, whatever, right? But you know why Vince rewarded The Rock? It was somehow because The Rock made him a lot of money and he never embarrassed him. Whatever happened, beef with his dad, he separated beef from his dad from him. Because he's like, he didn't do this. Rocky didn't do this. His dad do this. I can make business with him. So what I mean by this is The Rock got rewarded kind of his own show to this day, whatever. People still talk about that. But you rewarded a guy who had beef with somebody months ago, embarrassed you in front of guests. Literally guests. These are podcasters, reporters,
peers
that who do not work for the company. They are guests. You embarrass the whole company for what? The fight thing? My thing is this. Another embarrassment to the company because that should not never got leaked out the way it did.
Correct.
You embarrassed the company. And the fact that now, just because that you want the highest paid player and you're the biggest draw, I'm going to give you a whole show. And because of that, you're going to make mad people uncomfortable for one man.
For one person.
One man. I understand that if it's just like one isolated situation. No, he has history going back to Ring of Honor. At this point, I'm never the type of person like give up everybody, give people 1,001 chances. But at this point, where's the boundaries, Tony?
Correct.
There's no
there's no boundaries in AEW.
But the thing,
I can tell you that. There's no boundaries.
But the thing is, though, and this is my point. You're right about Tony, but I'm putting it more on CM Punk.
That you know what?
Because
you know where it shifted for me. It was the media scrum.
But the thing about it,
because that nigga sat there and let that man do all that shit.
Because he was caught off guard.
Nah, and
he was. But
if that was you though, and that was us, and we was and we was there, and somebody, let's say you was talking wild crazy, yo, I'm cutting everything off. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
But the thing, the difference between
cutting all that shit off.
But hold on. But the thing I'm saying is that you should know better.
You want your water?
That's what I'm saying. You should know better.
But
it's I get what you're saying about Tony Khan, but CM Punk is at a point like, yo, bro, you are 40-something years old acting like a child.
But that's him.
You acting like a freaking child.
When people show you who they are, you gotta believe that shit. So when my man was like that in the E, guess what? That shit didn't change. That wasn't a growth spur. My man is still going to be Phillip Brooks, and I think
he's selfish,
and that's correct. And you gotta know who you dealing with before
he gotta be
before you position him to being the highest paid talent on your roster, and now you putting all the pressure on him to deliver when he doesn't respect you as his boss.
So, but the thing about it, I'm gonna put it like this though.
Put me on.
All right, this is Tony. This is Tony. All right, Phil, we're gonna give you your show.
Cool.
You bring all over your people who you want. Outdo Dynamite in ratings.
That's it.
You the big you
got the big dick now, right?
You got the biggest dick in the yard. All right, outdo my show on Wednesday. Because sometimes, let them fall on their face.
So is Saturday a punishment or a reward?
We don't know. We'll see.
Because like, what time is it going to be on? Like,
I think they still haven't released that. I don't think they should put any wrestling on a Saturday.
There should be no wrestling on a Saturday.
That's my opinion.
I mean, it's very old school in that sense. Unless it's, to be honest, unless it's a Saturday morning, I don't know if it's going to work.
Fire. Saturday morning?
If it's a Saturday morning, they have a chance. And listen, Tony, if you do Saturday morning, I'm gonna need that credit though.
But how is the rules for Saturday morning?
Well, no, it'd be just think
talking about FCC rules.
Think of think of like when WCW was like 605, so that was
no, it's F. So it depends how hardcore they can go, but if they can follow some type of rules,
I would do it.
Listen,
that's the only way I think they can do it.
You just have to be PG. That's it.
That's easy. All right, so
you stay in the FCC rule. You do a morning show like 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. You record on Friday. You can record on Friday night.
To be honest, I would do. Is it going to be live or is it taped?
We don't know.
So many questions.
So many questions.
Not enough answers.
Can we talk about the lawsuit for WWE?
Okay, so for those that have been on the interwebs, it's funny.
About the title too.
It's funny because we talked about it. The title's fine.
Can we quick wrap it? I think the new title.
You wanted to talk about the titles.
Quick wrap it. I think the person who should win it first is actually either Seth or The Miz, because you need somebody that could go everywhere with the title and promote it.
Is Miz still on Raw?
Yeah. Yeah. Like that's what person I feel. Do I think that the design is ugly? I don't know, because I have to see it in person.
No. So I'll say this real quick, and then you can say who you want for champion, and then we'll move to the lawsuit thing. I'm not big on belts. I'm not big on merch like that. That's never been my thing. That's not my go-to. But I like the belt a lot because I feel like it represents different parts of the belts throughout the years. And I think they took like the middle of it gives you the big goal, which is why it's the world heavyweight title. So it gave that feel. The side plates gives me like back when Cena had the spinner belt. There's pieces I feel like in the belt of each different era of the belt. So I like it. It's fresh. It's something new, because people were like, oh, it looks like the AEW world title. It's like the AEW world title looks like a New Japan title. So what are we talking about? Like, there's nothing. Wrestling is recycled. What are we talking about here? First champion should probably be Seth. Mm-hmm. And once again, the champion will be crowned in Saudi. So for their night of champions, I think it should be Seth. And I totally, if that's the case, then I totally did more. I was at 40%. Now, if Seth wins, I'll probably be at 75% of Cody winning Money in the Bank, and still going after Roman for it. So
everybody keeps saying that, how Cody gonna face Roman again?
Money in the Bank.
Simple.
That's what I said. But I had said that right after Mania, because I was like, I had said it when I had watched the Dusty documentary, and I said, oh shit. If he wins Money in the Bank, SmackDown's here at the Garden, he cashes in, he does what his daddy was supposed to do.
But they said, the rumor is that they're gonna try to keep him until September 2024.
No, my God, listen.
But also, I was reading that they have to update the record books.
If it's not, listen, if Cody is not the one to do it, then Jey Uso has to take it. The end.
Okay.
All right. So lawsuit. So there was a lawsuit that was filed here in New York, where a former writer of WWE, a black young lady, was suing the WWE, including Vince, Stephanie, a whole bunch of other people on that lawsuit about like racially insensitive things in the creative room and feeling uncomfortable and all that, and all that stuff. And in her right, it's interesting to me because I felt like
to read it.
Yeah.
Okay. So a former writer says she was fired by WWE after pushing back against racist ideas suggested in the writer's room, according to a new lawsuit. The writer, Brittany Abrams, filed a lawsuit against a professional wrestling company and several of its employees in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of New York last week. Abrams, who is black, said in her complaint, reviewed by People, there were a number of occasions in which she objected offensively racist and stereotypical jargon in the writer's room. The filing names are WWE Chairman Vince McMahon, his daughter, and former chairman Stephanie McMahon, and 5 others who work for the wrestling show's writing staff. The alleged storylines Abrams references in the lawsuit dealt with several of top WWE stars, including longtime champion Bianca Belair, Apollo Crews, and more. WWE has not responded to questions. Abrams said on one occasion, WWE lead writer Ryan Cohan suggested an idea, this is wild, for a storyline in which a Saudi Arabian-born wrestler would be revealed to have been behind the 9/11 attacks.
Bro, that's Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah.
That's Muhammad Hassan.
So that the person that they're talking about is Mansoor.
Yeah.
So she also said Callahan presented an idea for an Australian wrestler's new gimmick to be this wouldn't get super racist.
If it's some kangaroo shit, that's wild.
To be he's a hunter who hunts people, including the idea of repeatedly capturing a black wrestler and keeping him captive in a cage. Abrams found Callahan's pitch highly offensive and objective. According to the lawsuit, the ex-writer objected to her superior's racially motivated misconduct, stating that a gimmick where a white man's hunting a black African-American man for sport is racist. The lawsuit reads, wild. Callahan laughed and sarcastically responded, "Oh, what? Oh, what? Is that a bad idea?" The lawsuit alleges that Abraham, who's also objected WWE's writing staff forcing Cruz to have a very heavy fake Nigerian accent because of his race. The following also says Abraham's raised concerns over a line WWE senior writer Chris Dunn wrote for Belair, in which the two-time world champion was asked to say, don't make me take off my earrings and I'll beat your ass and she said, another wrestler.
She kept telling her, I don't know why they keep writing this in for me. I ain't saying that shit.
Uttering the lines and still is negatively stereotypical of the race and gender, Abraham found it offensive and still finds it offensive. The lawsuit says that, adding that Belair repeatedly raised concern about the line as well. Abraham has worked as a writer for WWE SmackDown and WWE Monday Night Raw from November 2020 until April 2022. The former writer says WWE fired her for taking home a commemorative chair from the promotion's WrestleMania 38 event, despite other white employees,
underlined whites,
doing the same thing, and the company having a policy of allowing employees to take WrestleMania branded chairs home with them after an annual event. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls who are listening, who are watching on the YouTube or on Twitch or whatever,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, this is a very, very, very interesting thing. And sadly, this is something that's bigger than WWE.
And it's not so I find it interesting because, you know, people have been like talking about it and being like, oh my God, but it's like, this is not the first time, nor this is not right. This is not breaking news, is what I mean by it. And it's not to say that it's okay for them to do it. It's not to say that they're right for what they did. No, not at all. I think it's weird because, and this is why it is important to have people like us in those type of rooms, because you have people that have been in that room by themselves with people that look like them and think they know what we like, or they trying to relate to us, and it doesn't hit.
So I want to piggyback off that. I'm gonna tell you what the problem of this whole situation is. People don't listen. Miss Abraham said, "Nah, that ain't it.
Don't hit.
Nah." And the head writer, because he has
trying to put his dick on the table.
He has his head up his ass. He thinks he knows everything. Try to play her and be like, "Nah, what are you talking about?" Because a lot of times they think they know what's right because they live in their bubble.
Correct.
You hired her for a reason. She's black and she's a female. So she has more insight on that culture, that gender, and understanding it.
Right.
You're a white dude. Ain't saying you don't know nothing, but you have to listen. And this is the problem with the world. This is the problem with America.
Like that's not a
a
WWE issue.
Like you said, WWE needs to be held accountable.
Absolutely.
Yes. But wrestling needs to be held accountable. The same way that an indie promoter will tell a black wrestler to go do some hot nigga shit.
Shout out to Marquis.
To go do some hot nigga shit. And not think that's a problem.
Right. Or think that's appropriate to say just because we cool. Like,
yeah.
And it's not and it's not okay.
And it goes back to TV shows, to every part of wrestling that we've seen. We need diversity is not just having one black person in the room.
No, it's not meeting the quota.
Diversity means you have an Asian, a black, a white, a Puerto Rican. You have a diversity of different types of people who think differently to come together to write a show that represents everybody.
Oh,
right.
And it's connecting. Oh, shoot.
The sad part about this whole thing is that we're still stuck in the old ages.
Right. Like the storylines that she mentioned in the suit is like, that's some shit they was trying to low-key do in the 2000s, right after 9/11. Like, what are we? So it's like, so that's why it's no, and that's the part where it's crazy because it low-key is comical because of the fact, like, really, like, we're in 2023. We had, like, most major wrestling promotions has a black woman as a champion. Outside of Sasha just losing that belt, you got Ember Moon, you got Bianca,
Jade.
You got Jade. Like, you have representation has been at an all-time high within the last, like, I would say 4 or 5 years of wrestling. And I think it's super important to realize that, I mean, as everyone knows, the most disrespected person in the room is a black woman, period. So the fact that she had the opportunity to make a change and make a difference, and it still was met with disrespect and it was met with ignorance, it's crazy. But it's unfortunate because that's the world we live in. That's not a WWE issue. That's a world issue. That's an everyday life issue where you walk outside and you never know. You don't know us as the color of our skin. We don't know if we're going to be able to get home.
Can I tell a story?
Wait. Before you tell a story, I just want to say this is, okay. It's kind of real catch-22.
Mm-hmm.
Because my brother mentioned diversity, right? He mentioned that Asian, whatever. But the problem is they don't take diversity just by face value. They'll say, we have 3 black people, and we have 3 Asians, and we have 3 Spanish people. That is diverse, right? But the thing about it is we all went to Harvard. We all had the same upbringing. So a lot of times it's just like, is that really true diversity?
Right.
It isn't.
But I'm going to say this, the tag on is just like, yo, we don't have enough true diversity in that because all 3 of them may be similar, but we all think differently. You feel me?
And that's a good point. But the thing about it, are they looking for that?
And that's the thing that
they fake looking.
But then this is where the audience play into it. I always bring up the New Day, right? When I put up the clip when I'm talking about how that, our whole ideology of black characters is from the European standard, people still say, New Day suck. I hate these pancakes throwing dudes. Dudes at my job. I hate New Day, blah, blah, blah. But I'm looking like, but that's diversity. You feel me?
Yeah, because they can't all be the same.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, the Hurt Business. Suited up. I like that. But the same exact token,
that shit was
okay.
hard.
I see the black men in my life and suited up, me, my brother, people in church. Yeah, but at the same exact time, I see my brother in sweatsuits. I'm in sweatsuits, and that does not define our intelligence. At the same exact time, my brother could sit down and have a sports conversation, both of us. On the same exact token, I could talk about weed. And the same exact token, I could talk about spirituality. That just shows my diversity. But the problem is, I'll go to the audience. Are y'all ready for real diversity? Because when we gave you it, y'all was low-key gonna turn on Big E, and y'all was ready to turn on Coffee.
But the thing about it, it's a catch-22 with New Day. Because as together, they sold the most. They sold the most.
Yeah.
So the people who say they hated them, so every one person that said they hated New Day, 10 loved them.
Yeah, I was about to say it
outweighs them. Now, when them by themselves, I purposely believe, and I scream this at the mountaintop, we failed Big E. We as fans failed Big E.
Why you think that WWE? Why think fans failed the Big E?
But I'm gonna not put 100% on the fans. I'll put 30% on WWE.
Okay, so explain the percentage for both of them.
Fans never bought his merch. Yes, he only came out with one shirt. It wasn't that ill, but I don't care. If you really fuck with him, buy a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's number 1. Number 2, when he's on TV, you have to watch because they're looking at segment. What his segment is doing.
I mean,
retention.
Retention, yeah.
So if you're not staying on the show watching it, you're failing them. So when I look at the 30%, the booking wasn't that great. That's number one. Number two, and this comes with being black, we don't get that many chances. If we don't hit right away, we done. Yeah. We done. So that's why.
But we don't have patience for ourselves.
No. Society has taught us to run patience out of ourselves. If we don't do great right away,
like if we fuck up the first time, then all is off.
But that's within our culture too.
But I'm not even talking about that. Okay. We gotta talk about what's exactly going on. That's in wrestling in general.
Okay.
They didn't really give him a chance.
No, only thing
so that's why when I see Bianca where she's at, and they took time with her,
I cry every time
to develop her. I love it. So that's my 70-30 when it comes to Big E. But the problem with wrestling is, and this is just a problem with the world that we live in, is that they don't listen. People don't want to listen.
They don't understand the culture. Like when we say for the culture, it is very it can be taken broad, but it has such a deeper meaning than I think we actually talk about, because for the culture, and as Vaughn had said, we're all blacks are different. Not all blacks are the same. And I think it's super important to understand that even though we all have we're all melanated, we're all different, and we all bring something different to the table, and you can't treat us like all the same. Like we all, like, not every black person eats watermelon. Not every black person likes fried chicken. Like, you can't treat us. I don't like watermelon, so I'm sorry.
I love some fried chicken.
But I
love watermelon.
I say that in a sense. Wait, hold on. Wait. Let me finish. Sorry. But in me saying that, I say it's important that in order to elevate the industry, we all have to learn each other differences. And I think that plays that's a bigger picture. It definitely on the indies and definitely on a professional level, like understanding each other differences and understanding each other's, that we all don't come from the same place. We all don't have the same experiences. So you can't just generalize one particular thing and make it a general broad thing. Like, not all people like hip hop. You can't. So you have to understand, like, for the culture really just means it like, New York is such a melting pot of cultures, and like we're lucky to be in a city where you don't feel that type of difference that you would feel in Midwest America, or or down south sometimes, so it's interesting, but it's important that overall, whether it's WWE, whether it's AEW, that the representation is in different parts of the business.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Now you can.
This. It's supposed to be protect black women at all costs, and I still see people talking about storylines and their women in industry who are content creators who are relying on media to ensure that they can feel safe. People scream black excellence, but the problem is this story and many more is going like more of it. It will go away fast because people don't put pressure. I definitely agree with that, because are we really putting real pressure on these people? No. And my thing is this way is, let's be honest, on the roster now, as far as black characters, are there really, really diverse black characters on screen? Because when we try to put a diverse character on screen, like the Big E does it hit with us? Because some of us will deny and say that he ain't tough. You understand? And that goes back to our old ideology where that if a man ain't shooting or raw, he ain't a man.
But then I have to look at Bobby Lashley though. Mm-hmm. He ain't doing nothing. He's just a big dude that's strong, like Brock.
Low key.
But with Brock, that's okay because there's mad diverse white characters.
Yeah, but the thing about it, that works for works for Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby's a former military guy. So the reason why I say that is because Bobby's a former military guy, former like collegiate superstar wrestler.
Don't forget UFC.
Bellator fighter. So that fits
undefeated.
him. So this is when I go back to that Bianca Belair part that they spoke about. Bianca don't talk like that. She said it. That's why she kept saying, "No, I'm not saying that.
I'm not doing
I don't
that.
talk like that." So it's not going to feel authentic, and I'm going to be playing a caricature of myself. So that doesn't work.
So okay, we talk about the problems. Us as collective, as a podcast, everyone listening right now, I'm going to put all of us on Front Street. What are we going to do?
So the solution is we do shows like Black WrestleFest. You do shows like Jobber Slam 3. You do other things outside of the bigger companies, and you support each other who are doing things and who are putting us in a positive light. Because at the end of the day, what people don't understand, this shit starts with WWE, but this shit really starts with the independent scene.
Because without the independent scene, you won't get the guys there.
Like for instance, Carmelo Hayes been acting the way that he acts.
Yeah. Like, what y'all see as Carmelo Hayes is what we knew as Christian Casanova.
So,
like,
but the thing about it, he's not coming off ghetto. He's not coming off stupid. He's not coming off ignorant.
No.
But they understand that's who he is. The problem with the writers, what they have to understand is that that's not who I am. If you're going to turn me up this way.
Right.
That's why New Day worked. So
and also too, to that point, is as an individual, you got to come to the table with something too. You can't just always sit and assume and then feel away when something's given to you unless you're willing to bring something to the table and stand for that, which is why I always go back to, and I guess we can end up talking about Naomi because that's actually what I'm going into. That's why I always say, like, that glow gimmick, that was her. That's what she fought for and what she wanted for years. And she brought that to the table, and they were hesitant. They didn't know how to do it. They didn't know how to do it. And then, but she kept consistency and persistence is what will get things done.
We could bridge over to that, but it's ending off is just like, till to this day, people still make a big deal about Naomi and Sasha Banks walking out the company, talking about how, I'm going to say this. You know why this upsets me? I'll get to the Naomi situation because, black man shitting on them and stuff like that. One thing that hurts me is just like, your mother's black. You understand? And you know how black women are. They don't do something that dramatic without planning it out 10 steps ahead. The fact that a lot of people are disrespecting a black woman, especially them, talking about how that I was stupid for her, this, that, and third. No, it wasn't. Whatever worked for her, it worked. Because now both of them have opportunity as black women to put companies on their back and say, you know what? Y'all didn't value me here. I'm going to show my true value because they appreciate me. New Japan put a title on her. And potentially there is another title. I think it's called the oh my God, it's something like next title. And guess what? She's in that tournament. And how many other black women is in that tournament along with her? Willow Nightingale from AEW. Naomi being on Impact, just saying that she put in the stamp of when Kirk went in TNA back in the day, he put a stamp of I gotta watch. Because now I want to see her versus Tasha Steelz.
Oh, I want to see her and Deanna
versus
I ain't gonna hold
Deanna
you.
Price. I want to see her versus Savannah Evans.
Deanna.
I want to see her versus Jessica Havoc. Because you put in the stem of that company saying that they're about work. To anybody disrespecting and say I was dumb and stuff like that, you don't watch Impact. You know nothing about that company.
Well, no, those that are being disrespectful don't know, hasn't experienced that, hasn't experienced the disrespect. They haven't experienced feeling. They haven't experienced feeling that I'm at my end and I'm fed up. And those that are complaining, they don't know the experience, so they complain because they don't know. And then once again, it adds to the fuel of ignorance. But in terms of talking about Naomi, and then we'll give our Backlash predictions and wrap up real quick. I'm super that honestly best decision for her. I think it'll definitely get more eyes on Impact as a whole, because she will draw. I believe tonight, because we're real time on the Thursday, and Impact comes on Thursday nights. I think tonight will be her debut on Impact on tonight's episode, so make sure to tune in for that. But I love the fact that Scott D'Amore and the team there with Gail and all of them, they welcomed her, made her feel safe, made her feel at home. And honestly, that's what wrestling is about. Like, the one thing that I will always push, and what I love that we've done Jobber Sam, this will be year 3. I love the environment of the locker room. I love the environment where everybody feels like they're at home. They don't have a worry. They don't have to worry about who's going to come out, like who's talking about who. Like, it is such a family vibe. And that's always been Impact's kind of like notch above everyone else. Is Impact has been that family vibe where they, you know, they take care of you. They still allow you to do the indies. They still allow you to work on other shows. They found a formula. It's just, it's hard for them because I think of the TV situation. So that's where kind of like where but for all these years and everything they've gone through, the Dixie Carter era and everything else, for Impact to still be alive and well speaks volumes, and it should be appreciated. Just like how as fans love AEW, you wanted to do well, you should want Impact to do well. You should want MLW to do well. You should want NWA to do well. You should want all these things to do well, because it adds a different morale to the industry, to the business, and it makes things a lot easier for all of us to come together and do things together, instead of it being like, oh, I can't fuck with this person because he's on this show and he did this to me 10 years ago, and like, it's just, you gotta leave. My hope and my wish for wrestling is you got to learn how to leave your ego at the door and understand, like, there's a bigger picture and we're here to work as a team. And it's to go back to the CM Punk thing and things like that, where you have to realize there's a bigger picture. And in order for all of us to eat, we all have to be on the same page. So let me pull up Backlash real quick. If you want to give your 2 cents about Naomi at Impact.
Listen. Do what's best for you, sweetheart. Do what you think is best for you, what makes you happy. Blowing. But the number one thing that stuck out to me was when she was like, and this goes back to people not understanding people and they being people's bosses. She said somebody spoke to her in a type of way where it made her feel like trash.
Where she didn't even want to wrestle again.
So, I don't know who it was. I'm not going to speculate. But if you feel like that at work, you gotta go. You gotta go. You have to.
You gotta go.
You have to leave.
And that's in any industry.
But so Wilkins, why would you walk out? Why would you follow someone else? You got your own.
But the thing about, she didn't follow somebody else. She followed what because she didn't want to go to Japan.
Yeah, that wasn't her thing.
She went to Impact. She said a lot of people offered her.
She said everything was on the table for her.
Yeah,
Be
so
very
Japan,
clear. She said
so AEW,
Japan,
all of that was on the table.
All of that was on the table.
So the thing is, it's like, all right, what is best for me in my situation, my family, and just my
injured too?
Huh?
She was wrestling injured in WWE.
Yeah. So
most wrestlers wrestle injured.
So it's that. So like, she's doing what's best for her, and like, I can never get mad at that. I've had people that I've worked with. And I'd be like, yo, what are you trying to do?
Right.
Are you not happy here? Okay, then leave.
Right. If you're miserable.
Because I'm not going to hold nobody back.
And that's just in general. That's outside of wrestling.
Even in a relationship.
Yeah, if it's exhausting.
If a shorty I'm with is like, yo, I don't want to, I'm not happy here. All right, bye.
Good, peace.
But maybe I shouldn't be that way. I'm trying to fix the situation. But I don't care. You unhappy, go somewhere else. Jimmy can make you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. Once again, we will be at, all three of us, because last time we all wasn't there. We'll all be at Legends this Saturday for Backlash in Puerto Rico. I think this is honestly the dopest thing for Puerto Rico as an island, as a community. It's been a very long time since a really big event like this has been on the island of Puerto Rico. And so I think on terms of the tourism, the revenue, just everything for that island, I think is super dope. And I think it's dope that a lot of the players that are on the card are of Puerto Rican descent. It's the first time Selena Vega, I think, has been able to wrestle in Puerto Rico. So things of that nature. So it's a very dope thing. So we have, it is random, but I'm here for the randomness at times. So we had Seth Rollins versus Omos, which is random as fuck. But I think it'd be dope. Honestly, the Omos and Brock match still, I think people need to really be talking about that, because that Brock worked. So all right, so who do you guys see?
Brock worked and went home.
So, right? And no, Brock worked, came back the next day and then fucked Cody up. It still hasn't explained why he did that.
Janelle,
yes.
I gotta tell you something about me at Backlash offline. Stephanie Hardy.
Okay, you can text me, sis. So
you're not gonna tell all of us?
So maybe it's something for girls only. Not everything gotta be for y'all. Damn.
Oh, she about to go to Puerto Rico?
Shit. If had I known 2 weeks before I got that ticket to LA, I would have not gone to LA.
What you doing in LA?
No, I wouldn't have gone to LA, and I would have went to Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
Because they had announced it like literally like right before WrestleMania.
Oh,
and I was like,
WrestleMania? I thought you were in LA this weekend.
No, hell no. I ain't going back there. No.
Hell no.
So okay, Seth Rollins versus Omos. Who do you guys have?
Seth.
Okay.
You know what?
Seth.
No. I'm going to Omos.
Now you know damn well Omos ain't gonna win.
Listen,
they got it. If Seth gonna beat this title, they got it. They can't. No,
hear me out. They did the same thing with AJ. AJ lost at WrestleMania, and then after that, he slingshot to the top. Seth is Teflon.
He is.
Yeah. Okay. We have for the United States title Austin Theory, who once again now will be on SmackDown, versus Bobby Lashley, who will be on SmackDown.
Bobby Lashley.
Versus. Interesting. I think Austin's gonna retain.
Nah, Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley.
We have the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair got drafted to SmackDown versus Io Sky. Match-wise, this is about to be dope as fuck. Match-wise. But Bianca probably will retain because they're going to end up swapping belts. So,
a lot of people don't like that.
What? Swapping the belts? Yeah. Look, it's a belt. Who cares? Like, I don't understand. Why we stressed about a belt? Like, what?
Mess up the records.
What? Listen, if we're gonna talk about belts, let's talk about the hot potato y'all niggas was doing on AEW with the TNT title. So let's not even, don't even miss me with that.
By the way, before we continue, listen.
Oh, we even talk about AEW Dynamite.
It's fine.
This pillar thing, I don't know what they got to do. They got to turn it up.
You said they got to add some sass tone.
Huh? They got to bleed or something.
They got to, no.
Yeah, they got to bleed.
No.
Somebody got to die.
Yo, it was so funny because when we were watching Dynamite last night, Mikey was like, yo, it's wild how Jungle Boy, Darby, and Sammy, the three of them combined equals Maxwell's weight. Yeah. It's the funniest thing.
Yeah. But okay.
Like soaking wet.
I agree with my brother is because there's no flame. Okay. I like the concept of it. I like the people. I
love the concept. I like I told them earlier when we were talking about pre-production. I love the concept. I love the fact that they're involving the foundation of AEW, which I think is important, especially with all the drama and everything going on. I think it's important. I do think it's something missing. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's a little too soon to pull the trigger on all four of them. I think it should have been a build up to where you could have did the one-on-one and then see what happens, because now it's like you have the four of them. They wrestle each other.
One-on-one?
Maxwell's gonna probably win, but does that make sense?
Hold on. A one-on-one?
I think if they would have did MJF versus Darby Allin at Double or Nothing, would have been fine. Dope.
It would have been solid.
It would have been fine.
It ain't selling no tickets.
I don't know.
Not yet.
I don't know.
Listen. This is my thing. Four talented individuals. I'm gonna let them cook.
It's very bland right now.
Listen, I went in the kitchen.
No pepper.
I tasted the food. It ain't hitting.
The problem is with MJF, them three collectively is great wrestlers. Could tell great stories in the ring, but they don't know how to tell stories outside the ring.
They can't. They're uncharismatic.
Like,
and it's like Maxwell's carrying the entire thing on his back.
Yeah, but Darby's decent.
Yeah. But
Sammy's
but I just feel like
with Darby, it's more the facial expressions for me, like how he sells whatever's going on. That keeps me invested, which is why I said Darby and MJF would have still made sense and it would have been fine.
But even with like MJF tells stories like he's like in like elementary school. Oh my gosh.
Gotta dumb it down.
Friends to beat you up. If you beat my friends, you'll get to me. And now with Sammy,
you're my friend.
You're my friend. I'm gonna pay you.
When them niggas came out with the mashup of the song, I said, "What are we doing here?
It's just like,
what are we doing?"
Like MJF, like,
because then my question is, then if so they do the the 4-way thing, right? MJF, let's say, wins, right? What does that do for all the other three niggas that's involved? Will you care about a pillar if MJF is still champion?
Darby is still my man.
No, but but I'm saying is, would you still care about the pillars as a whole if MJF walks out of Double or Nothing as champion? No, you won't.
Back to Backlash.
Okay, I just was saying, like, it's not happening.
The SmackDown,
you should, because it's the truth. It's the truth. Think about it. And that's why I said they pulled it too soon, because it's like, if you do it now, it's like you're giving me the main course before giving me an appetizer.
Someone said that it depends how he wins. Boy, you gonna cheat.
A win is a win. It don't matter, because guess what? The next night, the next following Dynamite, you're not gonna give a fuck about any three of them dudes,
bro.
At all.
It's a catch-22. You got to build these guys up. We're gonna fake it like it's the biggest wrestling pay-per-view.
They're gonna okie doke everyone for Double or Nothing, and then redo the match at Full Gear.
Yes, this is what they're gonna do. The thing about they just need to build these guys up.
But you need other people to help build them up. You can't build them up with each other.
Yeah, but I think they can. That's the thing.
Not if they're not holding you just said you bland.
It is. But the thing about it,
how they gonna build each other up if they all bland?
Listen. Any sports team that you're a fan of, they have a rebuilding period.
But absolutely, everyone is in. Yeah.
So they're in a rebuilding period. Their executives,
but they rebuilding with the same niggas.
Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah,
that's what you do.
Yeah,
no, a rebuild, you get new niggas.
No,
figure out who's who.
Who's who? Because your star players are your EVPs. They've taken a step back, so you're letting your rookies and your non-veterans run the team. Yeah. So now we're gonna see who's the best people on the team, and then we'll make adjustments later.
Well, they already know. You know what?
Side note: the House of Black match.
Oh, I'm hyped. Daddy asked one last night. I popped.
Fire.
I was like, yeah. Give them the trios.
Rules that they have.
Because it was wild.
Feel like an event.
Because what's wild is I totally was like, I had asked Mikey the other day. I was like, yo, what the fuck is the Acclaim at? The fuck? Them niggas been on Rampage. So I was like, damn. And that's why I know.
Don't forget Rampage, the final deletion. I'm gonna watch that shit.
So I'm upset. Yeah, because 6:30 tomorrow, 6:30 Friday for Rampage.
That's lit.
Special time.
Yeah, I can do laundry and watch Rampage.
Okay, back to Backlash real quick. SmackDown Women's title. We got Rhea Ripley versus Selena Vega.
Come on, man.
Rhea Ripley. We have the Bloodline, which is Solo, and the Usos versus Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens and Matt Riddle. Kevin Owens and Matt Riddle and all that stuff will win. I definitely think Matt Riddle's gonna cause the rift. At first, I thought it was gonna be the Bloodline, but Matt Riddle's gonna cause the rift between Sammy and Kevin, and then I think that'll be the way that for them to get Randy to get the titles off of them. Then we have
a heel Riddle.
Yeah. See, listen, writers, what's up? If you want culture, what's up? Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes.
Come on, man.
Whoa!
You know Cody gonna bring out the most dramatic scene ever.
Nah, you know I'm not gonna hold you, because when they low key, I mean, they had 3 weeks to build this shit. It's been the most intense build up.
No.
Ever.
I like this match because Cody is mad.
It's a different side of Cody. Like, that nigga is upset.
Yo, Brock.
My man on Raw. When Brock came out, said that line about the fucking Cowboys, I popped. And then when Cody came from behind him, I said, oh shit, it's real.
So this is what's gonna happen. Cody's gonna win, right?
Correct.
He's gonna be in the middle of the ring. He's gonna start crying.
He's not.
He's not gonna cry. He's not gonna cry.
Cody's not gonna cry?
No.
Cody's not gonna cry?
No. Why is he gonna cry about a W? Why is he crying about a W?
You know how sensitive Cody is.
Yeah, I do. But why is he crying over the W, bro?
Wins the title, Money in the Bank.
All right, no. Okay, wait. No. So wait, no. You know what he'll do? He'll open up Raw, and then he'll cry.
So
he won't cry at Backlash.
He's gonna be like, yo, in 1970 something, my father Dusty was in Puerto Rico. He wrestled Carlito's father in a bloody match. So when I was wrestling,
how crazy, talking about, you said Carlito, how crazy would it be? So we got last match, Damian Priest versus
Carlito's not gonna cheat for him.
Yo, what if Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest in a Puerto Rican street fight, which I think is the funniest shit ever.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's the funniest shit ever, but it's the safest thing for Bad Bunny. But how funny would it be if fucking Carlito came out, because it's Puerto Rico, and came out and helped Bad Bunny? How funny would that be, though? You would pop. So don't even front like you wouldn't be like, yo, this shit is hard. You telling me Carlito come out with a fucking apple, bite it, and spit it in fucking Damian Priest, you not gonna pop? You would pop. But Bad Bunny, of course, will probably win because it is in Puerto Rico. He's the host of Backlash. So once again, They're probably gonna main event. Actually, if not them, then it'll probably be Cody and Brock. But I see Bad Bunny main eventing Backlash. But I think it's dope because it's full circle, because they won at WrestleMania 2 years ago as a tag team, and now they're fast forward. Now they're facing each other. So once again, long term booking, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be once again at Legends this Saturday for Backlash, and then the next time we'll be back at Legends will be for AEW Double or Nothing Sunday, May the 27th, I believe. Also, Saturday, May 27th, will be NXT Battleground.
Hold on. He wrestled in Puerto Rico, 1985 versus Ric Flair. So you think Cody's not going to cry about it?
Not after he wins,
dog. He's gonna cry on Raw.
Oh, he's gonna be like, yo.
He gotta tell the story. So in order to tell the story, he gotta do it on Raw to cry.
So let me ask you a question. Why think Cody's gonna cry?
Because that's what he do.
So this is what's gonna happen. So
he either bleeds or cry.
After he wins, he'll go to the top rope. He have a tear coming down his eye. The camera's gonna spin around him, right? And then he's gonna show up on Raw the next night and be like, what do you guys want to talk about?
Yo, if they don't put that shit on a t-shirt, I don't know what will.
So then he's coming to the ring. He's gonna be like,
lost opportunity.
What I had to do to Brock was what my father had to do to Ric Flair, 1985 in Puerto Rico.
I am over you. So once again,
how you gonna look away?
And he doesn't see that.
Yo, I don't know what it is, but like, yo,
he catch it in his mouth like.
Okay, wait. The only way he'll cry at Backlash is if Liberty's there. If baby girl and wifey's there in the front.
Oh, the baby that end racism?
He gonna cry.
Yeah, she did end racism.
First of all, she did the most gangster ass shit at WrestleMania. That kid is built for greatness.
So do you think Cody was... No. That's too far.
What? So,
I'm not gonna go too far.
No, you're doing the most. So once again, this Saturday would be at Legends. Then the Sunday Memorial Day weekend, all Double or Nothing.
His mother this time.
AW.
Be the Cuban immigrant.
No, he's gonna be like, I want in Puerto Rico.
Cody Loki, my cousin.
I want in Puerto Rico, but miles away, Cuba was there. What?
As an Afro-Cuban woman, you guys are out of control. And then once again, Black WrestleFest tickets are on sale for that. Interested in sponsorship or anything like that, please let me or Joaquin Morales of Balaco Pro or Danielle, shout out to Danny of Pretty Hills, let any one of us know. And then July 29th, the date is locked and loaded. You want to give the theme? You want to say what the name of the show is? I'll let him do it. So Saturday, July 29th, bell at 4 o'clock. Mrblacc will now let everyone know this is the exclusive
new
drop.
City.
New Jobber City. Fire. Jobber Slam 3, July 29th. We're super excited. Look, I got goosebumps talking about it now. Super excited. This summer New York wrestling is gonna be lit. So we appreciate everyone that's been on this ride with us, that's been holding us down, that's supported us, and likewise we're really excited to just really be doing some really cool things this summer here in New York. And also, hopefully, in Detroit for SummerSlam weekend. So we're still working on that stuff, and when we know more about that, we'll let you guys know. But we
find this match we wrestled in Puerto Rico.
I'm over him in Puerto Rico. Those that are traveling to Puerto Rico, safe travels, have fun, love it. That's about it. So we will be back next week. I do believe we have a special guest next week. So we'll tune in for that. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins, and Mr. Wilkins is looking up for this fucking match. It's interesting as fuck. And Mrblacc, once again, Jobber Slam 3, new Jobber City. Okay? Tell a friend to tell a friend.
I just said it, Vaughn.
No, it's not paid in full, love. We changed it. We had to change it. We had to switch it up. Creative wise, we had to switch it up. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Steven, and the other gentleman. I'm sorry, my attention span is stupid. For donating and supporting us. Once again, support can come in many different ways. So any type of support, whether it's monetary or just even showing up, we do appreciate it. So as always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and Mrblacc. Hashtag Black Excellence. Hashtag we are out.
So we got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans. You gotta wait till your coast chosen. Trying to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes & Noble.